This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
This is the late night news on NDTV Hindu. Lights, music, politics and every business in news tonight coming your way in the next 30 minutes. I'm Evelyn Matthew.
I'm Minasha and I'll be bringing you the Danya fever that has hit the city on the last day of Navratri.
Now, just after 2 days of BCCI filing a complaint against former IPL chief, now Lalit Modi questions Chennai's police jurisdiction. I'm Sudarshan Kumar and I'll get you all the latest on that.
Well, all of that coming up in just a bit, but let's take a look at our top stories for now. The ruling DMK's arch rival gears up for the double bonanza in the next 2 days. The stage is all set for Amma to take on the ruling DMK. Meanwhile, Karunanidhi plays the perfect leader, lifting his men's morale ahead of the opposition's showdown in Madurai on Monday. The fight between the BCCI and Modi turns sour. After the BCCI takes him on with the Chennai police, Modi speaks out, questioning the very jurisdiction in the first place. 1,700 cell phone towers in Chennai lacking safety guidelines could be open pillars of death. The city's top cop acts tough.
This is an area which is not regulated, so we'll be taking up this issue with the government.
This fat big festive season, Chennai does not hold back from spending for the best look in town. Ayudha Puja paints the city in color and celebrations. Temples are ringing with prayers and special offerings. The next bling thing for the Chennaites' appetite comes in the form of a luxury watch. The Swiss watchmakers make their grand entry.
Time never stops, so why not have a special watch to look at it?
An artist's expressions come to the fore after 19 long years. The proud painter, who is visually challenged, talks exclusively to NDTV Hindu. Wipe out that negative image of a transgender in films. For the first time in Indian cinema, a Kollywood artist breaks convention with a love triangle. And raise your glasses to Namma City. Chennai figures in the Forbes list of the world's fastest growing cities. And here's the rest of the day's news from other parts of the country. The Indian government draws out a list of 23 officials to be probed for corruption. An end game for Kalmadi and co. may be near. Meanwhile, the CAG, the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI steps in. Financial misappropriation, routing of funds and tenders to be examined. The All India Muslims Personal Law Board decides unanimously to appeal against the Ayodhya verdict at the Supreme Court. The Washington Post says Headley's wife warned FBI agents in 2005. The US ambassador says they are looking into the report. And one of India's finest cricketers, Dada, turns a staunch devotee on Durga Pujo.
Just with family, friends, enjoying. There's no time, no work, nothing to worry about. Eat and have fun.
Now, apart from all the glitter and high spirits in the air tonight, political watchers will turn their darshan towards the temple town of Madurai for Jayalalitha's show of strength that's coming up on Monday. But even before that showdown, the party will be celebrating the biggest festival of their own. It is the 39th anniversary of the All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazhagam tomorrow. Jayalalitha is expected to pay floral tributes to her mentor and party founder, M.G. Ramachandran. Party workers from different parts of the country are expected to be part of that grand event. The Queen Bee, meanwhile, will be gathering all support to get back the golden rule of MGR in the state. Meanwhile, Amma's arch rival seems to be putting up a brave face. The Chief Minister, Karunanidhi, has cautioned his workers not to be provoked by the AIADMK. He added that the main opposition party's apprehensions about violence could be a ploy to target DMK cadres. The AIADMK, on its part, has blamed the ruling government on many counts, but workers have been asked by the party chief to maintain peace. For now, private educational institutions in the district have apprehended traffic diversions and have declared Monday as a holiday. Well, in other news making headlines, Lalit Modi has finally spoken out against all the charges that's been fired from Chennai. No tweets this time, but in a statement issued by his lawyer, the former IPL chief, Lalit Modi, has said that he has not yet seen a copy of any complaint and was not in a position to comment on it, but went on to question the jurisdiction of the Chennai police to register an FIR. In his statement, he has said, and I quote, "Does the Chennai police have the territorial jurisdiction to entertain such a complaint and register an FIR and investigate the matter? The disputes between WSG, Sony and the BCCI are still sub judice, various forms and forums including proceedings before the Honorable Bombay High Court." Unquote. And giving us more clarity into that story is our sports reporter Sudarshan Kumar, who joins us live from our newsrooms right now. Sudarshan, when Lalit Modi says he is questioning the jurisdiction of the Chennai police, what is he really aiming at this time?
Well, Evelyn, just after 2 days that BCCI's General Secretary N. Srinivasan has filed a complaint against Lalit Modi's of so many, almost 5 charges. Now today, Lalit Modi's lawyer Mahmood Abdi has come in front and basically arising 2 questions. First question is, does Chennai police has the territorial jurisdiction to go and do the investigation of all the cases? So it means that basically his lawyer means to say that the disputes between WSG, Sony and BCCI are still pending before the Honorable Bombay High Court. So how can Chennai police decide to take the case forward? But if you remember and just hear the bite of T. Rajendran, the Chennai Commissioner of Police, he has clearly mentioned the BCCI is registered in Chennai and the police has full right to investigate the case. So we can't understand that why is Mahmood Abdi arising this type of questions, Evelyn.
Right. Thanks very much indeed, Sudarshan, for joining us with those inputs. Now, every time you walk out of your house or apartments, how sure can you be of your safety? After a recent crash of a mobile phone transmission tower on a building in Arepuram, the city police now plans to take up the issue with the government. Our crime reporter Salim brings you the risks and the towering problems involved in such situations.
Mobile phone transmission towers in congested North Chennai area. There are 1,700 towers like these across Chennai city, but there are no clear safety guidelines for their installation. The crash of a tower in Arepuram has sparked safety worries now.
I have a feeling this is an area which is not regulated. So we'll be taking up this issue with the government, saying that these towers, wherever they are installed, they need to be regulated or licensed by some agency, and some kind of follow-up should be there for maintaining it.
Mobile phone service providers pay rents up to 25,000 rupees to building owners to base their towers, and the risks from these towers were not studied seriously until now.
இது பாத்தீங்கன்னா சேஃப்டி இல்லாம இருக்கு, மெயின்டனன்ஸ் இல்லாம இருக்கு. அத பார்க்கணும், சேஃப்டி இருக்கா இல்லையான்னு தெரியல. இப்போ எங்களுக்கு உயிருக்கு என்ன உத்தரவாதம் தெரியாத மாதிரி கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. இது ஒரு லெசன் ஃபார் எல்லாருக்குமே. இந்த ஃபியூச்சர்ல இது மாதிரி எங்கேயும் வைக்காம இருக்கிறது நல்லது.
They should not be allowed on the terraces of any building without proper safety measures. That should be laid down by the government, which they are not prepared.
Technicians familiar with mobile phone towers say they are not designed to withstand weather conditions and pose serious risks to buildings and people who live or work inside. There are reports that the signals transmitted by the towers pose health risks as well. In Chennai with reporter Salim, Lokpriya for NDTV Hindu.
Well, in news from the districts of the state, police in Tirunelveli have raided a few state-run liquor bars today and seized unaccounted supplies of liquor. 5 bars were raided in the town of Alangulam after complaints that they were selling after business hours. Police said that they seized illegal supplies worth around 6 lakh rupees during searches at the bars that lasted for around 8 hours' time. 5 people have been taken into custody after the raids. Now, guess who, or rather what's made its way to the Forbes list this month around? Well, it is Namma Chennai. Yes, the city has figured in the Forbes list of the world's fastest growing cities. Chennai's claim to fame has been the tremendous growth in business and industries that's been generating more than 1 lakh jobs this year. So it is another feather in the cap of Singara, Chennai, one of the world's fastest growing metropolises. And we salute everybody who's been behind that. Now, if you thought beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, well, the story coming your way will perhaps give that phrase a whole new meaning altogether. One particular artist from the temple town, Madurai, and his paintings have captured the rural charm of the beautiful district. Now, after 19 years, the world gets to see his paintings in an exhibition. Here's what makes him unusual.
Writer and painter Manohar Devadas suffered retinitis pigmentosa, a degenerative eye condition. He almost lost his vision. Now, at the age of 74, his paintings, created over the past 30 months, will be on display at the Lakshana Art Gallery in Chennai.
I was born in Goripalayam at Madurai, and from our house was at the very end, and from our house I could see a canal and a long stretch of paddy fields intervened by coconut trees, and then I could see the distant Western Ghats. And during the winter months, the sunset was often glorious.
The paintings capture the charm of temples and scenes of rural Madurai. The money raised by the exhibition will be donated to eye hospitals for the treatment of visually challenged poor people.
I have endowed these two endowments to Sankara and Aravind. To enhance the endowment, I decided I will have a set of watercolors, prepare a set of watercolors and make an exhibition of them, and whatever money comes from it, I will not even deduct the expenses. I wanted to give away the entire amount. And for this, without even soliciting, a Prakriti Foundation, Ranveer, who is doing all kinds of good work, he offered to sponsor the exhibition.
Manohar Devadas's passion at this age is not just inspiration for many differently abled people and others, but a clear message that there is no barrier when it comes to doing what one loves to do. In Chennai, with Peer Mohammed Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
This is the late night news on NDTV Hindu. Still ahead, he may be called the demigod of cricket in Kolkata, but Dada is batting for the Durga Mata this October.